Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Sagittarius February 2020 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 3. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is, as far as February goes, Mercury will be in Aquarius from the 3rd until from the 1st until the 3rd. So the 3rd house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there can be a lot of communication that's very ingenious. I should say, talking about not necessarily ingenious communication, but talking about innovations. New ideas, new concepts. It could be with siblings, with cousins, with neighbors, people you knew from your early education. Your mind may be a little bit more futuristic, thinking outside the box more so than usual, and speaking in a very perspicacious manner with third house people, and speaking with consideration with them as well, not talking over them. As an example. But another thing too is keep in mind that Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aquarius traits that might figure more prominently in your communications, matters with neighbors, with cousins. It could be information you're assimilating, your communications in general. And whether they're more auspicious or more to your detriment, a lot of this could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in your chart. A sexta or trine to your natal Jupiter can indicate they could be more auspicious in these matters, but at the same time, an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn could indicate they may be causing some loss, sorrow, grief, or limitations in these areas. Now, anyway, the next thing up, well, Mercury will be in Pisces as far as February goes from the 3rd until the 29th. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, you could it could be a time where you could be speaking, thinking, really about just being more, compassionate, or about about being altruistic, and also could just be communications about Pisces related matters with home, family members, people you're close to home with. It could be like talking about poetry, dancing, your ideals, things that you fantasize, or your dreams at this time. It might be also a time too where you're thinking very idealistically about really where you want to be at that latter or end part of your life if you're not currently in it. And there might be a lot of things that are stated that are ambiguous or unclear, or might be misconstrued with home family members, people you're close to home with, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. And could also be a time too where you might also be at this time. Keep in mind that Mercury really it could also be about siblings. This could be about Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Piscean traits. And they might figure more prominently your emotional security, home, family members, people you're close to home with, that latter or end part of your life, traditions, roots at this time, and ancestors, things that are, well, I should say roots, traditions, and also, it could be a time too, and also again, whether they're more beneficial or to your detriment, a lot of that could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in your chart. A sextile trine your natal Jupiter, they may be more beneficial and auspicious in these matters, but an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, they may be going in the other direction, causing some sorrow, grief, or limitations. But also at this time too, it could also be where you're thinking maybe somewhat really, or there might be some communications that indicate they're somewhat nebulous or unclear, or your thinking is rather unclear in terms of your roots and your ancestry at this time, and things, and you really where for some reason you're mentally a little bit confused in regards to those matters at this time, and maybe there's some ambivalence and in terms of who you are at the core. There's some confusion in terms of who you are at the core at this time, or simply you could be communicating about Pisces qualities at the core, such as being idealistic, forgiving, compassionate, imaginative, self-sacrificing, and altruistic. Next thing up, Venus will be in Pisces as far as February goes from the 1st until the 7th. So again, the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could be a time where you really might be desiring peace at the home, but don't be overly unrealistic about this. It could also be a time too where you might be spending money unrealistically on home, family related matters, people you're close to home with. But it could also be a time where this could manifest in valuing idealism, compassion, altruism, imagination, and self-sacrifice in matters with home family members, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. And it could be a time too, if you're unattached at this time, Sagittarius, you may connect with a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Pisces characteristics. It could be somebody that might be prominent in that latter or your end part of your life. It could be somebody that might figure strongly your emotional security. It could be somebody that again, that could be very prominent in your home or your family life at this time. And it could also be about the love of Pisces traditions at this time, such as like poetry, dancing, the metaphysical, which includes astrology, anything with water, which can include swimming or some kind of aquatic sports, something with photography, imagery, abstract art, anything that could be Pisces related. Last but not least, Venus will be in Aries as far as February goes, from the 7th until the 29th. So at this time, the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So this can manifest in a number of ways. This could be a time, if you're unattached this time, Sagittarius, where you may connect with an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aries traits. It may be for a superficial flame, but it could also be a love, romantic connection. It could be somebody that might play strongly or prominently in your fun, your amusement, your enjoyment. This could also be about valuing courage, fortitude, assertiveness, and aggression and initiative in matters with children, personal popularity, things with investments, love, romantic relationships. And it could be a time too, at this time, we need to guard against impulsive and impetuous spending on things of a speculative nature, things connected with investments at this time, matters with children, but it could also be about the enjoyment of Aries-like things. It could be with children, with lovers, with people you share some hobby or fun, amusement, or enjoyment with. It could be like combative sports or playing some kind of like military board game, or doing anything that requires a lot of action and activity at this time. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.